Is that good? Looks like it's good. Alright, so we are Team Swamp, and we chose to add on to our project from last year, which was the removal of Asian bittersweet, which is a invasive species. And basically an overview of what the issues is we have Phragmites, Asian bittersweet, and black swallowwort, which are all invasive species, which all destroy native plants. Starting with the Phragmites, they are very territorial species. They take over fast and they can spread rather quickly than the other two. And that is usually grown in like a swampy, like pond environment. Here's a picture of Nate removing one of those. And then we have Asian bittersweet, which we did last year, and that is basically a vine that just will grow and attach itself to anything and just wrap around almost like a boa constrictor would to strangle its prey. That's what the vine does to trees and whatever it gets its hands on. And then finally we have black swallowwort, which is also known to grow very rapidly and spread like crazy because of the seeds that they have. They are known to just float and fly miles and can just go from one seed to 500. And we think it's important to let the community know how to remove these, educate them on how to identify them, and just the proper disposal so they don't come back.
And yeah, so the actions that we took to get rid of the species was to first find areas that were affected by any of these. And then for all three of the species, did the same treatment, which was to cut the invasive at the base of pruners and then apply herbicide after that. And then dispose of any remaining stems we have. So our solution was to get workers out in these areas and try to take out as many as we can with proper equipment. So it would be pruners, gloves, bags to get rid of the stuff, and the herbicide too. And after that, wanted to make sure that any stems or like seed pods left over were also taken care of, so it would just grow back again. And so we did all of that, and we also wanted to make sure that like Braden said, that the community was aware of this too. So we tried to spread awareness about it, and so that more people knew about the subject. And so I'm going to pass the results back to Gabe.
Yeah. So our final results we wanted to get from this project, which we did see, was to get rid of a lot of the invasives in the area, because as you can tell in this picture specifically, we see a lot of those happening in our area. So we wanted to decrease the amount of those we would see and save the native plants. And hopefully we could also get our community aware of this problem, because we see these plants everywhere and we think it's a normal thing, but it shouldn't be, because they're not supposed to be here. So we hope to spread a lot of awareness. We also have a lot of publications, and one of our references and sponsors is NOHLC, and they actually created these two right here, the Phragmites and the swallowwort. We have some, and it actually talks about the method that we use to remove them on the two. And then we just also have a DNR publication on the bittersweet. Yeah, so our references were Emily Duthin, who's also with NOHLC, Miss Linda Jackson, who's she's a retired teacher, our teacher Mr. Barry, and NOHLC itself. And I'll pass it to Nate to why this is important to our community.
Yeah, so who is affected and interested? People with dying forests or yards due to invasives. Those are the people who would want to take care of the invasives to bring back the natural plants that grow. Then what does our community say to this? We asked a few citizens in the area, and it says, I think it's great that you guys are spreading awareness about it all and teaching people how to do the removal process themselves, because not everyone can do it. It's just not like workers that are doing it, it's everyone, and it'll really put a bigger impact on the invasives.
Yeah, any questions you guys got?
So, is part of your project the dissemination of information to citizens on how to treat these on their own?
Yeah.
On their own lands?
Yeah, the information is, available, but yeah, if we could get the information out there, then I feel like if people knew how big of a problem it would be, then people would maybe do it,
Was
themselves.
that
if
part
they
of your
want.
project?
Yeah.
That,
Okay.
we didn't
Not specifically, but
specifically
maybe.
go up to people and, but we, in essence of our school, like we talked to people around our school and just like asked like if they've ever noticed a problem with it. And there was a lot of people that weren't even educated, like they thought it was just a normal like tree growing in their backyard. And they thought they just had more popping up and up, but it was just an invasive growing rapid in their backyard and they had no idea the entire time.
What kind of herbicide did you?
We, it's the same that they used in Roundup, it's glyphosate, but we mixed it with water, 53.4% herbicide and the rest was water. But we also added a purple dye to it. But that's what we were using.
When do you do it?
Sorry, what was that?
When do you do it? What time of year?
Oh, we did,
We try to go early in the year.
Yeah.
When they're smallest,
Was that
some,
fall, yeah.
yeah, like fall and.
Yeah, fall.
And early spring, depending on the type of invasive it is.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't even need to chop it with the pruners, you can just pull it out like a root and it'll do the same thing as the pruners and herbicide would.
And that's with the bittersweet.
Yeah, that's with
Yeah, that's
bittersweet
exactly,
and
yeah.
So how did you handle Phragmites?
That's what we did
in the
fall.
same way.
Yeah, in the fall, we did it more specifically with the herbicide in the fall though.
Why did you choose the fall?
I think that's when it was growing, or that's when it was more
And when it was rampant,
rapid,
just like.
yeah,
And
there
Emily
was there's a
Duthan,
lot of it too, yeah.
Emily was explaining to us that the earlier it is, the easier it is to get rid of them. So like if they're just sprouting in or just coming in, they'll be more likely not to come back. That's what she explained to us.
When you guys pulled some of those, what did you do with them?
So certain ones like how I have this giant bundle of bittersweet, depending on like how big of the roots there were, we'll just set it upside down hanging on a tree branch and we'll come back to the area and it'll be dried out, or we'll bag them up in like garbage bags and then throw them in compost or dispose of. Usually Emily disposes of them for us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
And so what was the location that you did this work?
it was a location for the NOHLC, and I couldn't tell you the exact like I guess area it was called, but it was in the middle of like a residential urban neighborhood or whatever, just
Okay.
in people's backyards basically.
Did all four of you guys get to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got the better pictures of them too.
Someone had to be behind the camera, right?
Yes,
Exactly.
yeah, it was behind the camera.
How about decontamination? Have you guys ever heard of that when you're out doing invasives?
Maybe a form of it, but not straight
Decontamination.
yeah, we've never heard that.
So just like checking your boots and your clothes
Oh,
to
yeah.
make sure that you don't have seeds on them when you when you leave the property, or even when you're polling individuals, that seeds aren't sticking to you and what
Yeah.
have you.
Or if you have equipment, before you take your equipment, or in this case, I'll say a quad, and you take it from one contaminated area, make sure you
Yeah.
totally decontaminate that puppy before it goes somewhere
Yeah.
else where it's clean. Because you'll
Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly.
spread it. Another example. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, you guys. Thank you.
What's your group again?
Team Swamp.
Swamp.
Well, good luck with the rest of the competition.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, all right.